Hi students, I am continuing the chapter Application of Derivatives, and today I am discussing miscellaneous questions. So listen carefully. This is our first question. Show that height of the cylinder of greatest volume, which can be inscribed in a right circular cone of height h and semi-vertical angle alpha, is 1/3 that of the cone, and the greatest volume of cylinder is 4 by 27 pi h cube tan square alpha. So, given that the cylinder has greatest volume, okay, and we need to show that the height of the cylinder is equal to h by 3 and the greatest volume of cylinder is 4 by 27 pi h cube tan square alpha. Okay, so let's start the solution of this question. And in the question given that the right circular cone of fixed height is given as small letter h, and this h and alpha is the semi-vertical angle. So let us look at this figure. Here alpha is semi-vertical angle and h is the height of right circular cone. So height of right circular cone is given as small letter h. Okay. And let us assume capital letter R is the radius of cylinder and capital letter H is the height of the cylinder inscribed in the cone. Okay. So, given that angle GAO is equal to alpha, that is semi-vertical angle, and OG is equal to small letter r. Small letter r is the radius of right circular cone, and OA is the height of right circular cone, that is given as small letter h, and OE is the radius of cylinder, that is capital letter R here, and CE is the height of the cone, that is given as we have assumed that the height of the cone as capital letter H. Okay, so let us take this triangle AGO, and here OG is radius of right circular cone as R, and H is the height of right circular cone. So AO is equal to H and OG equal to R, and this alpha is semi-vertical angle. So from this triangle, tan alpha is equal to opposite side divided by adjacent side, that is R by H. From here we get R equal to, that is radius of semicircular cone is equal to H tan alpha. Okay, now let us look at this two triangle, that is triangle AOG and triangle CEG. These two triangles are similar. So we have AO equal to AO divided by OG equal to CE divided by EG. So I repeat, considering these two triangles, that is AOG and triangle CEG, these two are similar triangles. So we can write as AO divided by OG is equal to CE divided by EG. So replacing this by the given values, that is AO is small letter h, right, which gives h divided by OG is small letter r, that is radius of circular cone, equal to CE. CE is height of the cylinder divided by EG. EG is EG. So next I am going to write EG here. Okay. So note that EG is equal to GO minus OE. Okay. So replacing this by this EG by GO minus OE. Here we know that GO is radius of circular cone, that is R, and OE is radius of our cylinder, that is it is taken as capital letter R. So we get our ratio as H by R equal to H by R by R. So here we get our H from this equation. H equal to capital letter H equal to, note that capital letter H is the height of the cylinder, right? So height of the cylinder is equal to H by R into R minus R. Okay, and replacing this R by H tan alpha. So we get on denominator replacing by R by H tan alpha and this R by H tan alpha. Here these two H will cancel and we get 1 by tan alpha into H tan alpha minus R. Okay. Next, now the volume of the cylinder. So we have given that the cylinder having a greatest volume. So we need to check that the volume has greatest volume or not. So the volume V of the cylinder, we know that the volume of cylinder is pi r square h. So here note that R is the radius of cylinder and H is the height of the cylinder. So that's why I write here capital letter R and H. So V is equal to pi r square, H is equal to pi r square into replacing this H by 1 by tan alpha into H tan alpha minus R. Okay, and we get on opening this bracket, we get pi r square by tan alpha into H tan alpha and pi r square into 1 by tan alpha into R. Here this R into R square changes to R cube here. Okay, so here these two tan alpha will cancel each other and we get pi r square H here minus pi r cube divided by tan alpha. So this is our function volume equal to pi r square H minus pi r cube divided by tan alpha. So next we need to find out the derivative of volume with respect to capital letter R, that is radius of cylinder. So differentiating with respect to capital letter R on both sides, we get dV by dr equal to pi h is constant and a derivative of r square is 2r, and we know that the standard derivative of x square is 2x, but here we need to find out d by dr of r square. So replacing this r by x by r, we get our derivative of r square as 2r. Okay, so this is our derivative of r square 2r minus pi by tan alpha is a constant and derivative of r cube is 3r square. Okay, next putting this derivative equal to 0, we need to find out the critical point. So putting dv by dr equal to 0, that is these two equal to 0, and replacing this minus, taking this minus pi by tan alpha into 3r square to RHS, it will become positive, and here cancel this 1r on both sides and these 2 pi, and we get capital letter R by 2 by 3 H tan alpha, 2 by 3 H tan alpha. Okay, so next we need to find out the second derivative of volume, that is differentiating this with respect to R on both sides, we get pi 2 pi h is a constant and derivative of r is 1 minus 3 pi by tan alpha is constant and derivative of r square is 2r. So by this we get 2 pi h minus 2 into 3 6 pi r divided by tan alpha. Okay, so by applying the critical point in second derivative, we get d square v by dr square equal to 2 pi h minus 6 pi into tan alpha, replacing this r by 2h by 3 tan alpha. Okay, so by replacing this, these two tan alpha will cancel each other, and this 3 and 6 will cancel, and here we get 2 pi, and finally we got 2 pi h minus 2 into 2 4 pi h, that is minus 2 pi h. So after putting the value of critical point in second derivative, we get a minimum value that is less than 0, a negative value. So we know that if f double dash of x is less than 0 means maximum value, right? So by second derivative test, the volume of the cylinder is greatest when r equal to 2h by 3 tan alpha. Okay, when r equal to 2h by 3 tan alpha, we need to find out the height of the cylinder, and we had calculated as h equal to 1 by tan alpha into h tan alpha minus r. So replacing this r by 2h by 3 tan alpha in this step, here cross multiplying, we get 3h tan alpha minus 2h tan alpha whole divided by 3, and which is equal to 3h tan alpha minus 2h tan alpha means h tan alpha divided by 3 into this tan alpha comes to denominator. So we get h tan alpha by 3 tan alpha, and these two tan alpha will cancel each other, and we get h by 3. So in this question, first we need to show that the height of the cylinder is 1/3 of that of cone, that is h is equal to, capital letter h is equal to h by 3. But now we have shown that our cylinder height of the cylinder is equal to h by 3. Okay, next we need to find out the greatest volume. Okay, so the height of the cylinder is 1/3 the height of the cone when the volume of the cylinder is greatest. Now the maximum volume of the cylinder can be obtained as, we know that the volume of cylinder is pi r square h. So substituting the value of r as 2h by 3 tan alpha and capital letter h as h by 3, we get our maximum volume as pi into squaring this term, we get 4h square tan square alpha divided by 9 into h by 3, and this 4 on numerator 4 divided by 9 into 3 27, pi into h square into h will become h cube and tan square alpha. So 4 by 27 pi h cube tan square alpha is the maximum volume, and in this question we need to show that the greatest volume of the cylinder is 4 by 27 pi h cube tan square alpha. So hence the given result is proved. This is our next question. A point on the hypotenuse of a triangle is at a distance A and B from sides of the triangle. Show that the minimum length of the hypotenuse is A raised to 2 by 3 plus B raised to 2 by 3 whole raised to 3 by 2. So let us look at this figure. Here let triangle ABC be a right angle triangle at B. Let AB equal to X and let BC equal to Y. So length of AB and BC is X and Y, and P be a point on the hypotenuse of the triangle such that P is at a distance of A and B from the sides AB and BC respectively. Okay, and let the angle C is equal to theta. Okay, so from this figure, the hypotenuse, let us consider triangle ABC. The hypotenuse AC is equal to root of x square plus y square, right? So first of all, let us consider this triangle CPO. Here given that this side is B and angle theta, from this sin theta equal to opposite side by hypotenuse, that is B divided by PC. From this PC equal to B by sin theta, and we know that 1 by sin theta is cosec theta. So PC equal to B cosec theta. Okay, and also consider this triangle APD, given that side DP equal to A and angle theta here. From this we get cos theta equal to adjacent side divided by hypotenuse, that is A divided by AP, and from this AP equal to A divided by cos theta, and we know that 1 by cos theta is sec theta, right? So AP is equal to A sec theta. We get AP equal to A sec theta, and here from this figure AC is equal to AP plus PC, right? So substituting the value of AP and PC here, AC is equal to AC or hypotenuse of a triangle AC is equal to B cosec theta plus A sec theta. Let us name it as equation number 1. So in this problem, here the function is our hypotenuse. So we get our hypotenuse as B cosec theta plus A sec theta. Okay, so let us name it as equation number 1. So next I am going to differentiate with respect to theta on both sides in hypotenuse. We get d by d theta in d by d theta of AC equal to B is a constant and derivative of cosec theta is minus cosec theta cot theta plus A is a constant and derivative of sec theta is sec theta into tan theta. And next we need to find out the critical point. So putting d by d theta AC equal to 0 for finding critical point, we get minus B cosec theta cot theta plus A sec theta tan theta equal to 0. Taking this minus term into RHS, it will become positive. Okay. Here A into sec theta can also be written as 1 by cos theta, and tan theta, we know that tan theta is sin theta by cos theta, right? Equal to B into cosec theta is 1 by sin theta and cot theta is cos theta by sin theta. Okay. From this we get A sin theta divided by cos square theta equal to B cos theta divided by, and the denominator it will become sin square theta. Okay. Here after cross multiplying we get sin theta into sin square theta will become sin cube theta. A sin cube theta equal to B into cos square theta into cos theta will become cos square theta. And taking this cos cube theta on LHS and this A to RHS, we get sin cube theta by cos cube theta equal to B by A. Taking whole, here power is same, so we can write it as cosine theta divided by cos theta whole cube equal to B by A. From this sin theta by cos theta equal to B by A whole raised to 1 by 3. Okay, cube root of b by a or b by a whole raised to 1 by 3. We know that sin theta by cos theta is tan theta. So we get tan theta as b by a whole raised to 1 by 3. Okay. Next, we know that the identity that I sin square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1. Okay. From this step, that is sin theta by cos theta equal to b by a whole raised to 1 by 3. Here sin theta equal to, taking this cos theta to RHS, we get sin theta as b by a whole raised to 1 by 3 cos theta. And sin square theta equal to b by a whole raised to, this 1 by 3 is changes to 2 by 3. We know that the law of exponent x raised to m whole raised to m can also be written as x raised to mn. So here power 1 by 3 whole square, multiplying these two square, 2 into 1 by 3, it will become 2 by 3 in the form of power, and b by a whole raised to 2 by 3 cos square theta. Here squaring on both sides, this it will become sin square theta equal to b by a whole raised to 2 by 3 and cos square theta. Okay, so substituting the value of sin square theta here, we get this step, and taking this cos square theta outside. Outside we get cos square theta into b by a whole raised to 2 by 3 plus 1 equal to 1, and from this cos square theta equal to 1 divided by b by a whole raised to 2 by 3 plus 1. Next I am going to taking this power inside the bracket, it will become b raised to 2 by 3 by a raised to 2 by 3. Okay, then here after cross multiplication on denominator, it will become b raised to 2 by 3 plus a raised to 2 by 3 by a raised to 2 by 3. Okay, and this a by 2 by 3 is comes to numerator, and we get cos square theta as a raised to 2 by 3 by b raised to 2 by 3 plus a raised to 2 by 3. Okay, and cos, from this cos theta equal to, taking square root on both sides, cos theta equal to root of this term a raised to 2 by 3 by b raised to 2 by 3 plus a raised to 2 by 3. And we know that here root means whole raised to 1 by 2, right? So taking this 1 by 2 root or power to power inside, the numerator become a raised to 2 by 3 whole raised to 1 by 2 and divided by this root of, and this denominator become root of b raised to 2 by 3 into a raised to 2 by 3. Okay, we know that the law of exponent a root x by m can also be written as root x by root m. Okay, this property is used here. So a raised to 2 by 3, again using law of exponent x raised to m whole raised to m equal to x raised to nm. So a raised to 2 by 3 into 1 by 2. Here we get a raised to 2 by 3 into 1 by 2. So these two will cancel, and here we get a raised to 1 by 3 on numerator, and divided by denominator remains the same. So let us name it as equation number 2. Cos theta equal to a raised to 1 by 3 divided by root of b raised to 2 by 3 plus a raised to 2 by 3. And from here sin theta equal to b by a whole raised to 1 by 3 cos theta, right? So putting the value of cos theta here, that is a raised to 1 by 3 by root of b raised to 2 by 3 plus a raised to 2 by 3. Cancelling these two terms, we get our sin theta as b raised to 1 by 3 divided by root of b raised to 2 by 3 plus a raised to 2 by 3. So let us name it as equation number 3. So cos theta is equation number 2 and sin theta, the value of sin theta as equation number 3. Okay. Next we need to find out the second derivative of AC. So by this we need to differentiate with respect to theta on both sides. Here we get d square by d theta square of AC. Here AC is our hypotenuse. Minus b is a constant, so taking outside. Cosec theta is one function and cot theta is another function. So here by using product rule, first function into derivative of second function, that is derivative of cot theta is minus cosec square theta plus cot theta, derivative of second function into derivative of first function, that is derivative of cosec theta is minus cosec theta cot theta, plus a is a constant, so I am taking this a outside the bracket, and sec theta, here also we use the product rule, first function into derivative of second function, that is derivative of tan theta is c square theta plus second function into derivative of first function, derivative of sec theta is sec theta tan theta. Okay, here we can see that minus is common taken outside. This minus and minus will become positive, right? So the whole step will become b into cosec cube theta, cosec square theta into cosec theta will become cosec cube theta plus cosec theta into cot theta, that means cot square theta plus b into here also sec cube theta plus sec theta into tan square theta. We get the value as, here is a, right? So d square by d theta square AC. Now we get b into cosec cube theta plus cosec theta cot square theta plus a into sec cube theta plus sec theta tan square theta. Okay, so it can be easily shown that this d square by d theta square AC is greater than 0. Right, whole the term is positive, so we can write it as this is greater than 0 when tan theta equal to b by a whole raised to 1 by 3. So if a second derivative is greater than 0, it means the value is minimum. Right. So therefore, by second derivative test, the length of the hypotenuse is the minimum when tan theta equal to b by a whole raised to 1 by 3. Now, when tan theta equal to b by a whole raised to 1 by 3, we have from equation number 1 is our hypotenuse AC equal to b cosec theta plus a sec theta. So this cosec theta can also be written as 1 by sin theta, and this sec theta can also be written as 1 by cos theta, and let us name it as equation number 4. Okay, and substituting the value of sin theta and cos theta in equation number 4, we get b divided by, we get our AC as b divided by the value of sin theta is b raised to 1 by 3 divided by root of a raised to 2 by 3 plus b raised to 2 by 3 plus this a divided by the value of cos theta is a raised to 1 by 3 divided by root of a raised to 2 by 3 plus b raised to 2 by 3. Okay, so this denominator term will goes to the numerator, and it will become b root of a raised to 2 by 3 plus b raised to 2 by 3 divided by b raised to 1 by 3 plus a root of a raised to 2 by 3 plus b raised to 2 by 3 divided by a raised to 1 by 3. Here these two terms are common, and taking outside, here we get on bracket b by b raised to 1 by 3 plus a by a raised to 1 by 3. Okay, and we know that b1 divided by x can also be written as x raised to minus 1. Right, so here 1 by b raised to 1 by 3 can also be written as b raised to minus 1 by 3. Don't forget to write this minus sign. So here it will become b into b raised to 1 by 3. And by using law of exponent, x raised to m into x raised to n equal to x raised to m plus n. So it will become b raised to 1 minus 1 by 3. So after cross multiplying, we get b raised to 3 minus 1 by 3, and it will be equal to b raised to 2 by 3. And similarly, a divided by a raised to 1 by 3 can also be written as a raised to 2 by 3. So replacing these values by b raised to 2 by 3 plus a raised to 2 by 3. And here we get our AC or hypotenuse as root of a raised to 2 by 3 plus b raised to 2 by 3 into b raised to 2 by 3 plus a raised to 2 by 3. And this root means whole raised to 1 by 2. And this term, and here again using law of exponent, x raised to m into x raised to n equal to x raised to m plus 1. Here both the terms in bracket are common. The powers are different, so we need so I'm going to add the powers. We get a raised to 2 by 3 plus b raised to 2 by 3 whole raised to this half plus 1, and 1 plus half is equal to 3 by 2, right? So hence the minimum length of the hypotenuse is a raised to 2 by 3 plus b raised to 2 by 3 whole raised to 3 by 2. In this question, we need to show that the minimum length of the hypotenuse is a raised to 2 by 3 plus b raised to 2 by 3 whole raised to 3 by 2. So hence the given result is proved. Okay. I hope you understood.